Holy crap, has it really been 13 years since the last new Silent Hill game? Silent Hill Downpour was released in 2012, and since then, Silent Hill has gotten an HD collection on the PS3 and 360, a dungeon crawler on the Vita, a short game on the PS5, and of course, the PT demo on PS4. The franchise went to sleep for like a decade until Konami gave us Silent Hill 2 Remake last year in 2024, and now here we are, 13 years after Downpour and face to face with the brand new Silent Hill game. Silent Hill
F is for friends who do stuff together.
Hi, I'm Dom. I enjoy horror games on this channel, and I love Silent Hill deeply, so I was looking forward to seeing the return of this franchise, even with this major cultural shift the franchise was getting with this game. I've been into these games ever since I was very young, and was very sad that for the past 12 years it seemed like we'd get GTA 6 before we got another good Silent Hill game. I know, overused joke. So that begs the question, is this finally the good Silent Hill game that us Silent Hill fans have been waiting so long for? Let's dive in and find out. Let's start with talking about the gameplay. For those who might be coming to Silent Hill F from Silent Hill 2 Remake, this game takes place in 60s Japan rather than rural 2000s America, so as you might imagine, you don't have any guns. I know, horrible for my fellow gun-loving Americans, please shield your eyes. The game's combat is strictly melee focused. In exchange for limited ammo like you would have in a Silent Hill game with guns, this game has no guns and limits your melee weapon usage by implementing a durability system. Because it's not truly Silent Hill if you're not confronting the embodiment of your deepest traumas with a steel pipe.
A toolkit. Portable toolkit containing commonly used tools for home repair. Restores equipped weapons durability. Oh, there's a fucking weapon durability system.
Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of durability systems as much as I understand why this one was here. I don't really like it either. So as you can imagine, the game encourages you to run away from some fights simply as an act of resource, health, and sanity preservation. Hinako, the protagonist, is actually really good at dodging and running away because she has experience dodging her dad's liquor bottles. Yes, this game has a sanity mechanic now. The way sanity works is it allows the player to focus on enemies to widen the window for counterattacks and charge up stun attacks. However, enemies can also perform psychological attacks on Hinako by assaulting her with brain rot to drain her sanity. And can also drain her sanity by hitting her with normal attacks while she's focusing. Once her sanity is totally drained, psychological attacks start doing damage to health. It was actually very satisfying landing a stun attack on an enemy and then wailing on them with a flurry of light attacks while they were down. The combat is fun, but they included this really stupid mechanic where if an enemy grabs you, you're essentially stuck in a cutscene until they finish their attack. And they're always guaranteed to do damage to you in these. It's not like a game like Resident Evil 4 where you can wiggle the sticks really fast when you get grabbed to prevent taking too much damage. Here it's essentially like having someone take the controller from you for about 5 seconds and then give it back. It completely ruins the pace of the combat in my opinion, and I really wish they had swapped this out for a system that, for all intents and purposes, was done better 20 years ago. The inventory system in Silent Hill F is, to be perfectly honest, really bad and really annoying. There's an item limit now, which isn't totally new. I remember Silent Hill 4 at least had an item limit, but Silent Hill 4 also had an item box where you could store resources you came across throughout the game. Silent Hill F doesn't let you have this, or even do the Resident Evil 0 style of item management where you can put items down and come back for them later. If you come across an item you want or need but your inventory is full, you kinda just have to remember where it is if you want to come back for it later, or just forget about it and move on, so it kinda kills a lot of the excitement your inner loot goblin might feel finding new items while exploring areas. It doesn't help that, in my opinion at least, some of the consumables like the Divine Water and the Higashi feel kinda useless. I think I died a total of 6 or 7 times throughout the game, and 3 of those were because of me failing a scripted run away from the big bad section. Don't laugh at me, I know I suck. I was playing the game on hard puzzle difficulty and story gameplay difficulty, which is basically normal mode, so maybe I would have had more use for these items in hard mode, but they did not feel that necessary on normal mode. Speaking of puzzles, because I'm stupid and have brain damage, I made a terrible mistake doing hard puzzle mode on my first time playing and ended up getting stuck at multiple points throughout my playthrough and ended up needing help from my stream chat because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Again, I know I suck.
Any money, there's gonna be someone who played through this game and figured this puzzle out immediately, who's watching the VOD for this and just smashing their head against their desk.
The puzzles themselves are mostly enjoyable, and I think if you play Silent Hill for the puzzles like I do, you'll have a good time with this game's puzzles. Just don't be stupid like me. So since this is a horror game, let's discuss the horror factor of Silent Hill F. The monster designs in Silent Hill were well done and incredibly disturbing. They move and sound like something that escaped from hell and found its way into the real world. It's also not Silent Hill without questionable hear-me-outs. God damn, why did they make the doll so caked up?
Chat, hear me out.
There's also this enemy that looks like your mom. I think the combination of the horrific gore mixed with the beautiful Japanese aesthetic and imagery of blooming spider lily flowers really lent itself to creating something that managed to be both beautiful and grossly nightmarish without feeling like either of these things stepped on each other's toes. I personally would have loved to see what Masahiro Ito, the designer for the first 3 Silent Hill games and Silent Hill 2 remake, would have done on this game, and I'm very sad that he wasn't involved in its creation, but what we got was certainly no slouch fest. The soundtrack was done by the undisputed champion of Silent Hill music, Akira Yamaoka, and I think he does a pretty damn good job here. He's usually very good with making the music fit the personalities and situations of the protagonist in these games, like how Silent Hill 3's OST is a lot of dark rock music, the kind of thing you could see a disgruntled and traumatized teenager listening to. The music here in Silent Hill F, as you might imagine, draws from a lot of traditional Japanese music. On the front of story, this game was written by legendary horror creator by the name of Ryukishi07, responsible for the iconic horror visual novels such as Umineko, Sasonia, and one that became one of my favorite anime, Higurashi When They Cry. However, Silent Hill F is not his best work because Silent Hill F doesn't have Shion in a skimpy outfit. I won't speak too horribly long on story since I want to avoid spoilers, but the game's story gets really confusing towards the end, in my opinion. Here's my raw reaction to the ending I got without spoiling anything.
What? Wait, that's it? Did I get a bad ending or something? That ending felt like, what the fuck?
As far as I know, the game has 4 story endings and a UFO ending. I haven't gotten them all, but it seems like the other endings might explain things a little better than the one I got, so you will have to replay the game a few times to get everything from the story, as far as I know. Overall, it's a very fun game, but I would strongly recommend waiting for a price drop unless you're like me and we're also starved for more Silent Hill. Did you guys enjoy the video? Do you want to see me do more traditional game reviews? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Dom. I'll talk to you later.